I never imagined that a routine trip to the Intergalactic Bazaar would end with me being questioned by royalty. I thought I was just another human tourist, fumbling with my translator implant, eager to see exotic artifacts and sample alien street food. But no, apparently, my reputation for unusual curiosity had preceded me. It started when I noticed her. She wasn't difficult to spot. No one could miss a figure radiating bioluminescent light in shifting shades of sapphire and violet, standing 3 meters tall atop a hovering platform that seemed to float without any visible propulsion. Her eyes, or rather, the kaleidoscopic orbs that replaced eyes, tracked me even before I realized I was staring. And stare I did. Her presence was magnetic, a blend of authority and an almost tangible aura of mystery. I didn't mean to be rude. I had read somewhere that alien royalty often carried an air that humans could only describe as hypnotic. Naturally, my instincts failed me, and I gawked. "Human," she said, her voice a harmonic resonance that seemed to vibrate inside my ribcage. "Why do you keep staring at my—" Her sentence hung in the air, unfinished, but somehow I understood it. My brain, in a panic, tried to fill the blank. B. Blaster. I stammered, remembering a decorative weapon slung across her back. She tilted her head, a movement so graceful it seemed choreographed. "No," she corrected, her tone a mixture of amusement and reprimand. "Why do you keep staring at my presence?" I froze. Presence? That sounded even more abstract than staring at a blaster. My mouth opened and closed like a goldfish. Finally, I managed. I mean, it's not every day you meet royalty from another galaxy. She floated closer, and I felt the ambient temperature shift as if reality itself adjusted to her proximity. "Ah, a human with manners but little tact," she said. "Curiosity is expected. Obsession, however, is less flattering." I nodded furiously, feeling sweat bead at the base of my skull. "Yes, no obsession. Purely, curiosity. Scientific curiosity." Her laugh, if it could be called that, was a series of musical tones that somehow conveyed amusement, judgment, and a hint of danger all at once. "Scientific curiosity. HM, tell me, human, have your scientists catalog the effect of a royal presence on your fragile species?" I blinked, trying to process that question. Not exactly." I admitted. "We mostly study stars, black holes, the occasional rogue comet. You know, safe stuff." She floated a hair's breadth from me, and I swear the air smelled of electric ozone and lilac. "Safe?" she echoed. "Curiosity without risk is not curiosity. It is stagnation. Humans fear the unknown, yet you seek it in the safety of your observations." I had no comeback. My brain had apparently frozen in awe, terror, and admiration. "Tell me, human," she continued, leaning closer, "do you understand the responsibility of seeing what should not be seen? Of standing so close to a power you cannot comprehend?" I swallowed hard. I think I do," I said, though I wasn't sure if that was entirely true. The princess extended a hand, or rather, a limb that ended in what I can only describe as a lattice of crystal tendrils. "Then you may walk with me," she said. "But know this, what you see may change you." I hesitated. "Change me? How?" "You will see," she replied cryptically, turning on her hover platform with a fluid motion. "And perhaps, human, you will learn the difference between admiration and obsession." We moved through the bazaar, a place where gravity seemed optional and logic optional. Vendors sold floating orbs that whispered secrets when held, liquid metals that reformed into miniature dragons, and fabrics that reflected not the light around them but the inner thoughts of the wearer. All the while, I tried not to stare too obviously, though every instinct I had screamed otherwise. Finally, She stopped at a store that displayed artifacts from countless civilizations, some long extinct. She picked up a small crystalline object, which seemed to pulse with its own heartbeat. "This," she said, "is a memory core from my home world. It contains not only knowledge but experiences, the laughter of my ancestors, the sorrow of lost worlds. Only those truly open of heart may perceive its full depth." I leaned closer, fascinated. It actually glows when you touch it. Not the glow, human. The understanding, she corrected. You stare at things and see only surface beauty. True sight comes from empathy, from connection. I nodded, realizing how little I truly understood. I think I get it. Maybe. Her gaze softened. Perhaps. But words are fragile. Observation is fleeting. Only experience can teach you. For reasons I cannot explain, she handed me the memory core. My fingers brushed against a crystal lattice, and suddenly I was no longer in the bazaar. I was in a sprawling city of floating towers and glimmering canals, the sky painted in hues I had no names for. I could hear whispers of conversations I had never had, laughter from beings I had never met, and a profound sadness that seemed to stretch across light years. When I blinked, I was back, the core warm in my hand. What was that? I asked. "A glimpse," she said. "A taste of what it means to truly witness life beyond your own. Now you see why staring without understanding is dangerous. You saw, and yet you did not. You felt, and yet you did not comprehend." I nodded dumbly, overwhelmed. I'll try to understand better." She smiled, or at least the shape of her face suggested what humans would call a smile. "Good. Curiosity without arrogance is a first step toward wisdom. But beware, human. Stare too long, and you may forget the difference between yourself and what you admire." I tried to make a witty remark, something to lighten the tension, but all I could manage was, I'll keep that in mind." She floated away then, disappearing into the bustling crowd of the bazaar with a grace that defied all physics and common sense. I stood there, heart racing, mind spinning, and memory core in hand. I wasn't sure if I had been tested, enlightened, or simply entertained. Probably all three. As I left the bazaar, I noticed something remarkable. The way I looked at the universe had shifted. Stars didn't just twinkle anymore, they communicated. Comets weren't random, they were messengers. And every being I passed, whether human, alien, or something in between, carried a depth I had never before considered. I had stared at an alien princess, and in return, I had been made to see. And maybe, just maybe, I would never stare at anything the same way again.